We, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free.
So, Taylor, this precedes you, but back in the DC After Dark days when me and Puppet were doing a show at Matt Couch, one of my favorite shows, and Puppet, you're going to remember this, one of my favorite shows had to do with these ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And today...
Were those Puppet's exes? Ex-girlfriend?
No,
friends?
no,
Is it
no.
plural? I don't know.
I've got standards, doll.
He can kind of just nestle right in there between the heads,
You know, talk about a...
No, they only have two boobs. They only have two boobs.
That's where he learned that. That's where he learned that little.
You would think that they would have like a quad set.
You'd think, but they didn't get that. They share them. But anyway, this popped up on
carburetor under the hood.
This popped up on my X feed today.
Hole.
This popped up on my X feed today, and I just thought it was hilarious. Who wore it better? And then you get the joke, obviously, right? So
I just got it.
Did you really?
It's cotton for brains, man. It takes a minute.
So anyway,
it does.
I thought
know what we're dealing with.
I thought it was hilarious, but it reminded me of that show that we did a long time ago, Puppet, because it's crazy, Taylor, how sexual people think. I know a lot of people like to pretend.
What?
Yeah,
you
right?
Don't say.
I know people like to think that they're all pure and whatever. But when we did the twins, because I guess one of them was dating, and so we did a whole show about how that would work, like with the twins, like who was dating who.
One was going to get married. That was what it was.
Yeah, like who had the orgasm. If the other one did, was it cheating? Like we had a whole
the
thing
Hunger Games of the
Yeah.
and also so
you had to lay there while the other one
yes
was
when
doing
the other one
in
read a
euphoric
book.
glory. Exactly.
Consummating the marriage.
Right. Did she put in the
watching paint
AirPods?
dry.
Yeah,
Wow.
the sock on the door.
So
anyway,
you did do the twins then. You said when we did the twins. So you did
well,
do
no,
the
one of them's married. That would be cheating unless Puppet did the other one.
I don't know if they're married. I don't know.
Well,
like
so anyway,
who's on like
it
who's
was
on
just not yummy.
They have one. They have one
Wasn't
lady
you,
hole.
doll.
Who?
Yes, they share a lady
no
hole.
no one is though. Am I right?
They share a lady hole.
True.
Two brains.
Who wipes? Who? I don't know.
Well, one
Anyways,
controls
that's a
one
whole
arm.
lot.
I don't want to get into this today, but one controls one arm, one controls the other arm, and so they each have an arm, and they share a hoo-hoo and a butt, and they have two hearts, I think. So the whole thing, we had
two
this whole
hearts.
Just it's like me and Puppet.
Yeah,
we
two
have
hearts,
are
one
connected
hoo-hoo.
by one.
Yes.
Not who, but anyways, wow. It's like taking eye for an eye to a whole new level. But
two hearts, one hoo-hoo. So here's
so with two arms, they can each satisfy at the same time, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, could you imagine if the married one, if the other arm
threesome,
like if the other arm touched the married guy and she's like, hey, and it's like cheating. That has to be anyway. We did a whole show on this.
If
we
it
can
was
do a show on it
threesome,
again.
would it be a foursome? What?
Right.
I mean, is it a threesome or a
yeah,
foursome?
it is. Wow.
It's a foursome.
And you're asking both of them, myself, to do girl math in this equation. Good luck with that. Might be harder than the actual sexual gathering itself.
Yeah, a lot. That's where everybody's mind goes, Taylor, with the twins.
You're telling
me.
I mean, you've probably heard of a little phenomenon called OnlyFans. Yeah. So,
I don't know if they're on there.
They probably should be. They'd make a killing.
There might be other
would be because there's
conjoined twins on OnlyFans.
It's crazy because I wondered if there was like a Puppet fans, like what that would, how
he
that
could
would
do.
go down.
He can do an OnlyFans. I mean, Only Puppets. We talk about this a lot.
We did, and I thought about it actually, Dave. We may as well be like Siamese twins because I was thinking about this before hopping on tonight, and so you just brought my thought to life.
I mean, if you want to send me money for doing this all night, I'm good.
Doing what all night? I don't see much happening.
I'm rubbing something down here.
God.
All right, so
it's
so
like charades.
Tonight we're going to talk about
I'm tubing over here.
All right, so tonight we're going to talk about a few things. Today, obviously, Trump was at the NRCC dinner. Everyone was watching that on X and other platforms. He ripped into Pencil Neck. What's his Adam Schiff? He ripped into Crockett, Jasmine Crockett,
and all the other countries that he said are kissing his, and I quote,
"Yep,
ass.
I love it. I love it. We're going to talk about some infighting, but transparent infighting. We're going to talk about Trump's soaring eagle, not a lame duck. And, of course, some controversy from RFK Jr. and MMR vaccines. Apparently, people are surprised that he's not against all vaccines. And, by the way, I have a special surprise at the end about some genetic engineering, speaking of GMOs. And all of that is coming up tonight on Politically Uncensored.
Free your mouth and your mind will follow. Speak your truth, don't wait for tomorrow. Words
Friday,
like
one big news
rivers
today
can
on
carve through
I
stone.
mean, this place is insane.
Yeah, they did. She did it under oath.
It just becomes too much noise and it becomes
too
negative. So
heavy to bear alone.
Deemed the Celebrity Whisperer by Playboy. 100%.
Write your fears on the back of the wind. Tear down the walls you were raised within. Chains of whispers, rust and break. The cost of freedom is the noise you make.
Free speech in America.
You
It's
know,
back, baby.
it is back, baby. I would be curious, since it is back, to hear if people would rather have a threesome with me and Puppet or the Siamese twins, you know, the aforementioned ladies here, just to say that they did it. Like, I don't know. Could we take a vote? Could we bring it to the chat? No hard feelings. I just would want to know what's up.
Listen, Taylor, this is easy because everybody likes to be with me because I'm soft and cuddly. You can easily just fall asleep before, during, and after.
It's very versatile, I see.
I am.
You know, I thought we
take a
did
nap.
this
I'm a
silly.
blush patriot.
I agree. There's some weird puppet fetish going on here, but I was just getting ready to be like, you know, okay, guys, getting into the news. But then I guess you couldn't get your mind out of the puppet getter.
Let's do the
I
news,
couldn't.
Dave.
Let's do the news, Dave.
Right,
As
we're
I don't know
doing
if
the
you
news.
saw this, but Puppet kind of coiffed his little hair there. Yeah, see? Oh, sorry. How can I concentrate on the news at a time like
know.
this?
I don't know how you get that image
And
out
then
of your
let
head.
me
I
just
get
do
that.
this. Don't check out the profile.
All right. Well, listen,
the nose always gets
You
it.
could
don't make
imagine
me
with
throw you
those
guys back.
twins.
Don't make me throw you guys backstage. All right.
Well, no,
So
he's gonna put us in timeout again. Okay.
So CNN, which how often are we going to cite
Communist News Network or
the
what?
Communist News Network? I don't know how many times I'm going to ever cite CNN as saying something positive about Trump. But the title of today's show, obviously, Soaring Eagle versus Lame Duck, because a lot of people thought that Donald Trump was really getting into a lame duck presidency. It's a real challenge for Trump, if you think about it, because most presidents have the risk of 2 terms. So they have to think about re-election. You have to fear them for 8 years. It's not just 4 years. And in a president's second term, they already have a record of accomplishment. They're thinking about their president. They have a lot of power they yield in the party, right? Trump has always been present despite the party. And, you know, he got elected for second president ever in history to have a non-consecutive presidency. He gets elected. There's a gap year. We'll just call it a gap year. And then he comes back, obviously. And now he is going as fast as he can to do everything he can to implement all of as much of the agenda as he can to put America back on track. But, you know, the big risk is all you have to do is wait 2 years. Historically, after one president comes in and controls both the House and the Senate, there's usually a change in power, and you see what a divided government would look like. So Trump is furiously trying to get things done before the midterms, which are pretty much starting now. But here's CNN on the issue. Check it out. Oh, shit.
That
I
was
screwed
quick,
up.
Dave.
Hold on, I'm going to do it again.
This concern among some folks that Donald Trump would come in for a second term and kind of be a lame duck. He ain't no lame duck. If anything, he's a soaring eagle. What am I talking about here? Let's talk about Trump executive orders in 2025. He's already signed 111 so far. That is the most at this point in a presidency in at least 100 years. In fact, it's the most in any single year, and we're only in April, since Harry S. Truman and the
I mean, and what he goes on to say afterwards, I mean, because there is only so much CNN, regardless of what's being said, that we can
That
take.
you can
know what I mean?
watch.
Exactly. However, he goes
like
on to
spicy
say,
foods.
right? He goes on to say, love or hate him, essentially, Trad Dad said the S word, which means he set the precedent, and I can say it too, that Trump is getting shit done. I mean, this guy is like whipping him out, like the viral clip of Caitlin Clark on Earth. I don't know if you guys saw this, whipping out 22 points in 2 minutes in a scrimmage, basically. Yes.
Ooh,
You
that's
said
racist.
Trump and whipping
That's
it
racist.
out.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. White girls
Puppet
can't
and I made
dunk.
two
White girls
different
can't
jokes.
dunk.
We went into 2 different directions at the same time. Yeah, you're right, Taylor. And that's the thing. Executive order after executive order. I can't even keep track of them. Just today, mind you, just today. I don't know if you guys know this. He passed the National Energy Emergency Executive Order. Did you guys know about this? So he's talking about the critical needs of AI. This is kind of really important because you need tremendous amount of power for AI. And
That's
Trump
right.
is recognizing that, and he's calling today a national. He's basically declaring through executive order that there's a national energy emergency, and along that, a clean coal executive order. And this is amongst the 104% tariffs on China, the trade war, if you want to call it that. I mean, this man isn't stopping. And Taylor, you pointed out earlier, what happened with this? SCOTUS said something about federal employees. What?
They're gone, baby. They're gone like the winds. You can't reply to an email. We're going to cut you loose. You know, like Justin Timberlake in the Bye 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 video with the little puppeteer, the hobwoman. You're gone. You got to reply to your emails. I don't know what to tell you. You got Doge, baby.
You got Doged.
You got straight Doge. And did you also see the news about the illegal aliens who were sent on the plane that they bye. Same thing. This is not a Malaysia Airlines flight. Like, where did it go? Nope. They straight up went back. They straight up, and they ain't come back here. That also what's
up with this Kamala speaking in front of like a mostly black audience accent you got going on here?
Too high? I don't know. I had a little bit of I had a little bit of whiskey too soon tonight.
You know, it's like
so maybe that's it.
We got Taylor Crockett on the show tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Well, let me tell you,
she does that too.
I have to appropriate. Yeah. Oh, Puppet's got the Crockett.
That's right.
And you know what's missing is the
we ain't picking cotton anymore. Did you hear her say that?
So
she's a crazy bitch.
Damn, that shocked me. I'm glad she said that, not you.
She did.
Well, I actually was going to say that on our spaces last night. Do you remember when we were all like making inappropriate jokes about because we were talking with Savvy, who said she has lineage back to John Adams.
Yeah.
And Puppet was talking about his lineage, and everyone was like, "Oh, Puppet, the cotton, the tampon," and I was going with the cotton picking. Remember, I said I was like, I'm going somewhere totally inappropriate, but maybe I'll save it for Politically Uncensored. And so, Puppet, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
So Jasmine was talking about basically the immigrants, the illegal aliens being sent back. And she's like, we can't send all these people back because you guys don't want to do any of the labor. You guys don't want to do any of the hard work. She's like, we ain't picking cotton anymore.
Yeah, that is so disrespectful. And I had, let me tell you, before the show, and by the way, Filter Dog over on Pilled gifted us a can. Thank you, Filter Dog. He said he missed us.
Filter Dog, thank you. You got to send 2 cans.
Or should I say
Taylor. No, those are
should I say Filter Dog, like DAWG,
dog.
if we're like really doing this, like Crockett splaining. I can't even believe I need to go into extensive psychotherapy. I need to severance myself because you just compared me to Kamala, who was the arch nemesis of my memory. I don't know. I don't even know. I need to do something to erase. I know Puppet is even. I don't even know how to deal with this. I need to just suppress that for the rest of time.
Dave needs to
be fair,
time out or something.
To be fair, you were the one who was culturally appropriating an accent here.
Basically, I went black on their ass.
Oh, Gambra over on Pill just gifted us shades. Woo! So things are going really well over on pill.net. You guys need to get on pill.net. Matt1776, we need a jugs gift in honor of Taylor. Yeah. We need jugs. So somebody should be able to gift jugs. Just a thought.
Can I do a sidebar, Dave?
Sure, do a sidebar.
So it goes into the Jasmine Crockett cotton picking thing, which did she actually say that?
Yes, she absolutely said that.
Okay, so this reminds me of the time when I was a young red carpet reporter, out there like a deer, like little Bambi, a deer in headlights. And I interviewed Amanda Seales. Do you guys know who that is? She's a black comedian. And she's like scary, not funny. So I was interviewing her about something having to do, she was doing a project, something with reality TV, and I was talking about the absurdity of projects like The Bachelor and how huge they are, and the idea that anybody, for literally having no talent, no nothing, can just, how everybody is so fame hungry and thirsty, and they'll go on shows like that to just be famous. And I said, like, what? There's no merit. Like, why? Like, there's no talent. You know what I mean? Do you know what she said to me? She said, and this was on the phone, and I was shaking in my boots. She pulled a Jasmine Crockett and she said to me, if we all still thought like that, I would be drinking out of a different water fountain than you. I literally put my brain into a blender. I was like, what? And I was petrified. I was like, oh my God, she thinks I'm a racist. I was just talking about The Bachelor. I'm going to lose my job. This was like 5 years ago. So the tale lives on through the likes of Jasmine Crockett.
Wow. Well, yeah. Well, that's why you're no longer in Hollywood, because of that disgusting nonsense.
I'm here with you all. Nowhere else I'd rather be.
Now, I know we have to talk about this feud, but I want to share a story. I totally forgot, you guys, to mention to you. Before the show, I had such an inspiring conversation with a woman who's trying to build a coalition, because, there's a few different, like, Blacks for Trump group, and she's trying to build a coalition of all of them to sort of fight for America First values and prove that, the Black community is with Trump and not what the Democrats are trying to pretend. I was so inspired by her passion and willingness to come together and kind of bring people together to help Trump. And it's so important leading into the midterm. So people like Crockett, and we'll talk about her later with the NRCC dinner. Trump had some interesting comments to her, but man, I tell you what, I think the Democrats have called so many people racist that they don't even know what racist is anymore. And they say the most racist things. And you know what? I think making that cotton picking comment was completely racist, but what, she's allowed to get away with it. But it's not just her. I think it was Adam Schiff and other Democrats who say, oh, if you deport all of the illegals, who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to do this? Like, they have such. Yeah. Was it Adam Schiff? What did he say?
Oh crap!
I don't remember
like who's
but I do remember fruit that or something.
Well, I do remember Kelly Osbourne on The View, who was like, "Who's going to clean your toilets, Donald Trump?" And everyone was like, "Oh,
right,
that's awkward."
But this is the way these people think, because they don't live in reality. The left, they live in their white communities with their white private schools behind their giant white walls, and they're allowed to have. And then they go and think of this diverse world that they imagine would be perfect. And they think about what this perfect, diverse world would look like. And they think of Mexicans apparently picking fruit. I don't even want to repeat what Jasmine Crockett said. But like, in these people's totally non-diverse worlds, they have such a negative, almost like a bias about all of these people. They don't even understand it. How about if you go to these college campuses? I've seen so many of these great videos where they ask like white liberal women, like, do you think Black people should have to show an ID to vote, and why? And they'd be like, no, because they can't get driver's licenses or they can't use a computer. And they talk about Black people like Black people are just unable to function and then you go, and then this guy went into like a Black community in Harlem and said, do you have an ID? She's like, yeah. Do all your friends have ID? She's like, yeah. Who doesn't have an ID? Do you know where the DMV is? And she's like, yeah. She's like, do you own a computer? Do you have access to the internet? And these people are like, who the hell is telling you these things? But that's my point. Like, they live in this world where, and I don't know if they actually believe it or if they just want to pretend this world exists, Taylor and Puppet. But it's really sad.
I think it's just elitism. I think it's an elite viewpoint, and they just use it, parrot it, echo it.
They're going to have to eat their words, because this all started before the poltergeist of Kamala's failed, campaign trail took over my body. This all started because what I was saying was the Supreme Court, I believe, upheld the order that was challenged by a lower court, right, to deport those illegal aliens swiftly. So now I'm going to be talking like this.
Good. But by the way, guys, over on Pilled.
I don't know. I just did like a Irish Scottish.
No, he's like Bridgerton. Collab. It's like what's that show? Abbey. What is it? Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey. Governor.
So, should we call Dave Governor from now on?
All right, Governor.
Taylor.
Let's move on, Governor.
Hold on, this is important. This is important. Over on Pilled. Pilled's wild tonight.
Yeah, Pill.
Matt,
It out.
Matt and Pilled, Taylor, here's what I need you to do. I need you to, I don't know if you can do this.
Not.
You need to go into the chat
She's
on
not gonna
Pilled.
flash.
I'm not gonna flash
No,
you back.
no. You don't have to flash. But what I'm telling you is you need to
That's
go into
for
the
after
chat
the
on
show.
Pilled. Matt1776 says he will create a jugs gift where you can gift somebody jugs if you go into the chat on this broadcast. So you need to figure out how to go.
that? Because I'm on Pilled, Matt. I have a Pilled account.
Yes, but you need to go into the chat right now. So you need to go and log in somehow.
Okay, and it's there popping on
Go-
Pilled.
go to
Pilled-
pill.net.
popping
Then
pills
you've got
in
to
the
find
best
the
way.
show. It's
Pill.net,
on
log
live.
in, go to my
Guys,
show.
this is the glory of a live show.
Go to my
Right?
show. We're doing this live. We're doing it live.
Live.
We're doing it live. That's
Fuck
producer.
it.
That's producer Rob. Do it live when we're saying really good
All
right.
stuff behind
Governor.
the scenes.
So,
All right,
so-
Governor.
all right.
It's
Come on,
Pill.
Governor.
Pill.
Pill.net.
There you go. Pill.net.
Pill.net.
I'm
Uh-huh.
already tuned. I'm already logged in. How you
Good.
like that?
Now go to David
like
Pollock.
that
That's
apple?
me.
Is it? I thought you were Governor.
Well, you
Governor.
call me whatever you want. Now go into the
Governor, whoever
chat,
you want me to be. Okay.
click the show, and click chat.
Okay.
All right. Everybody at home should be doing this too, by the way. Create your
This is
pill.net
good.
account.
This is a very good, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's giving Miss Rachel before she's now come under fire for being an anti-Semite, allegedly. So it's good. We need the step by step.
Yeah.
Come
right.
on, come on. You know, listen.
I don't see you though. I'm
You gotta
searching
hurry
David
up.
Okay.
Pollock.
Just
Okay.
go-
Anyways,
We're
On
not
the
gonna be
left, it
picking
says
cotton
all
over
users.
here.
You see the shows. You could do it that way. Search
ah,
See?
da, 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 da,
Okay.
da, da.
for me. Good. Now go into the chat
I'm
Go into
in
the chat.
and then say hi to everybody.
In the
And then we're going
chat.
to get a Jugs gift named
To
after.
comment, you must validate and check your email. What a
Oh,
Pilled.
Matt, she has to validate. She's never. How have you not? Oh, 'cause she hasn't validated since she started her account.
Here, I'm doing it. Listen, we women know how
She's
to
validating right
multitask.
now.
She knows how to
She's
validate.
going to validate right now.
Give me some validation,
Flash you
Taylor.
all on Pilled at the same time. So talk
Okay.
about multitasking and talking about
This is going to
Supreme
happen.
Court orders. I mean, it all happens
All right.
here.
So we're going to have
With
this.
an Ebonics accent.
Matt, yeah, I know that's so bad. All right, we're gonna get her on there, Matt. And then, by the way, Filter Dog gifted us a cookie.
Goddamn,
And
that was
he-
tasty cookie filter dog.
No, and his comment was absolutely awesome. And I read it at first, and I had to read it twice to make sure I could say this out loud. He said, "Look,
course you can.
if you like your slave labor, you can keep your slave labor. It's just going to cost you 104% markup to continue supporting it," which is an excellent point.
That's great.
because all they hate these tariffs. Because the tariffs are going to keep us from buying crap from China because they're using child slave labor essentially over in that country. But hey, you know, tariffs are bad. And so that's an excellent point that Filter Dog made. These people pretend to have all these ideals, but
And they're
you know
using
what?
those Uyghurs over there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he did the Wayne's World Schwing Filter Dog gift.
Are you in
Pilled-
there?
Pilled
Are
is-
you in there?
I'm
Oh,
here.
she's in there. Boom goes the dynamite. Matt 1776. We have a deal. So now
You
we're
have a deal.
So-
And for that reason, I'm not out, Matt.
yeah, and you're not a boomer, he says, because you figured out how to validate an email.
You're
So-
officially not a boomer. Oh my God, that's so
Yeah.
funny, Matt, because I've been calling out the boomers who are not boomers all the live long damn day.
Yeah.
We have no time for that here.
All right, now that we're gonna get a Jugs gift created over in Pilled, let's move on. So Caroline Levitt today commented on something because I guess there's some controversy, Taylor, right? What's going on? So I guess
There is.
Elon disagrees with tariffs, and so he said something about Navarro. I don't know what would set this up for me.
Navarro took some shots at Elon and said he's an assembly man. I believe he's not a car manufacturer. He just wants the parts. And Elon had some choice words about your boy Navarro and basically
Right.
said he wouldn't understand this if it was sitting on his head and he's as dumb as a bag of bricks. Basically,
Right.
I think we have the tweet. You want to bring it
Oh
on
yeah,
up?
yeah, I'll put up the tweet.
By the way, we have here in Pilled entry validation combo was pure comedy. Also, I'm glad that that worked out for you guys.
Yeah, and Gambera over there just gifted us a phone, guys, a phone. So very, very
Was it an
generous
iPhone or a
gift.
Samsung phone?
It's whatever phone is built in the United States now because of tariffs.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
So Elon
It's a
said
tariff phone.
it's a tariff phone. Look, there's a lot of support for the Jugs gift, by the way. This is a bit where we're changing things over on pill.net. So Elon says Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false. And they got 2.1 million views.
Yep.
And then he says Tesla is the most American-made cars. Navarro is dumber than a sack of bricks.
What I love the most is that he I find retards.
Oh, did he?
Wait, I missed that.
He added I find retards at the bottom of that post.
I
Oh my
love
God,
it.
that is iconic. And by the way, the word retards never left. Okay. So everyone's like, it's back. I'm like, it actually never left. And
No, I mean, we were saying it under our breath and behind closed doors for forever.
I was saying it out loud on all my phone calls, if only walls could talk. But anyways, I think what the takeaway from this is, right, is what our girl Caroline said. So why don't we play this clip? I know you're just like the clip master. I know we can't say master anymore, because of the conversation we just had. But listen,
because
the master bedroom.
Unless you are somebody who the individual who works on the boat, who is you ever been on a fishing boat like those snapper boats where literally there's like 300 tourists fishing all at one time, and they have one guy running around the boat making sure everybody has bait on their hooks? You know what they call him. So let's play the clip.
The bait boy.
Right?
No, he's the master of doing that.
That
thing.
was okay. If I did cobble.
That this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs, it might be messing with the message on it.
No, look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. And you guys should all be very grateful.
I gotta tell you, she is killer. She just has a turnaround for every damn thing.
I love it. It's all up here. It's not this binder business.
No bullshit binder.
No bullshit binder. No Lisa Frank notes.
No.
Straight up and noodle. And what I love about what she said was, the boys will be boys thing is just hilarious. But she is actually right about the transparency. It's like we're not gonna be fake and phony like these Regina George mean girls of the Biden administration. We're gonna air it all out. And so is it messy? Yes, but it is what it is, and what you see is what you get, and I love that.
I mean, two people in positions of power debating and not agreeing. I mean, this is not abnormal.
Well, it's actually what we were kind of talking about in Spaces last night with Amy Coney Barrett. I know you guys feel it's really type of specific
three
way.
names. Never trust a bitch with three names.
No.
Okay.
Explain
exactly. Exactly. Explain MTG. That's all I gotta say.
But except for her, she's.
Oh, I see.
Except for her. You know what? I don't know about MTG. I'd have to do a little bit more research into that.
I don't know. She and Trump were giving eyes at his address to Congress. I'm just saying. They're
no,
not like that. I'm just saying, like not like that. I'm just saying, they're homies.
So this boys will be. I agree with you. The transparency thing. I mean, look, people are going to disagree. We want a government. I mean, how can you go and call Trump all these names, dictators, fascists, this and that, and Elon's running the country? Elon is disagreeing with Trump's tariff policies. Good. But he's still doing it, right?
Democracy,
so Elon's
guys.
clearly not running the country. And that's the funny thing. You have liberals protesting Elon at Tesla dealerships, but they're also protesting tariffs. But Elon's against the tariffs, but they're still protesting Elon. These people legitimately have absolutely no clue what they're protesting. They just like to show up and collect their check for protesting. And
Hang on, guys. Breaking news.
Yeah, what's breaking?
Oh.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her name is Marjorie Taylor. Her married name is Greene. Her maiden name. Her maiden name is not
Taylor.
No.
Was she flipped it?
No, Marjorie Taylor's her name. Like
Marjorie
Emily.
Taylor is her name. That
Marjorie
is her
Taylor's her
born
name. It's a Southern name. It's
a Southern name.
It's a dual Southern. Are you apologizing to the chat on Pilled, Taylor?
I'm not. Filter Dog said, Taylor, apologies if I'm overstepping. Chat is wild. And I said, never. Keep it coming.
Filter Dog. No. You don't. Taylor's the reason why the show is called Uncensored. You're good.
Exactly.
You're good. Actually, Matt1776 thinks that your pair might be the model for the jugs that they
Are you going to sketch me like the Titanic? I mean, I'm for the sake of the art of the jugs, of the craftsmanship.
I might have to turn off all of our other channels, and then you can model that on Pilled, I think. But I think I'd have to turn off all of our other channels in order to do that.
If you were censored, let's just say I would be offended, to David's point.
Yeah.
You know, Politically Uncensored is actually my, you know what? Screw it. That's my middle name. It'll be Taylor Uncensored Ferber.
Yeah, and that's not hyphenated. So,
MPG.
but Puppet's point is actually really good because last night, because we can, and this is, I'll put this in our chat here.
I may be incorrect on that.
Oh, are you? Oh.
Anyway, let's go.
This is
what just makes up Puppet facts.
That's what you get for trusting a damn puppet.
I know when we
breaking news.
Word.
Yeah, breaking news. Puppet is full of shit.
Where do you think he got that from anyway?
Listen, I'm full of cotton, people.
He just had this epiphany that it just came to him in his time brain.
Well,
I'm
reading some stuff. I'm reading over here, which is tough when you have.
Try blinking. Try blinking.
That's true. That's a lot of work. But yes, I agree. This is democracy at work. And that's why, even if I don't always agree with her, even if I don't know what her motives are, I like to see even a descendant like an Amy Coney Barrett in, Supreme Court, because it's like, we can't all be homogenous and agree all the time, or sweetie, it's looking like China. So no, thank you. So if these two are going to go at it, Elon, whatever, even if Elon disagrees with Trump, great. That's what strong-willed, smart, powerful people do. Let's go.
No, producer Rob is happy tonight.
He
So
is.
Taylor, you were going to talk about White Lotus. I have no effing idea what the hell White Lotus is, so I'm going to let you just
Trad
tell me.
Dad probs. We're already ragging.
White Lotus in my pants.
Taylor, focus. Now because of Pilled.
I love it. Well, we're ragging.
Look at her eyes. Look, Taylor, my eyes are up here.
Oh,
my eyes are up
my
here.
bad. Sorry.
Staring
Now
at
you know
the
how
chat.
we. Now
She's
you know
not
how
even
we
paying
feel.
attention
Now
in the
you know
show.
how we feel when you're staring at our chat. Okay. Anyways.
Just saying, you got to pay attention to the show. The chat, look at that when Puppet's talking.
Remember, Dave, I taught you this before. There's a method behind the madness of the blonde. And what I was going to say was, in the chat, we were ragging on boomers, and you're sounding real boomer right now with the lack of White Lotus knowledge. But guys, we have to talk about this because it is just capturing. Everybody is talking about this. I'm talking everybody from the Barstool guys to Howard Stern. It has just captured the cultural zeitgeist. So in short, White Lotus is an anthology on HBO. It just wrapped its third season on Sunday. Was the finale. It got over 6 million views, which is the most the show's ever gotten, right? But what I think is so poignant about this is that the show is satirical, but it is dark and twisted, and it hits on everything, guys, from class and money and privilege to incest. Okay? This is the kind of show we're talking. So this says where people are at right now.
But why is it called White Lotus? Is it like an Asian thing?
So the White Lotus, it's almost like it's a really bougie hotel chain, which would be almost like a Four Seasons. And it's an anthology. Every season is in a different city.
Oh,
this last one was
like
in
American
Thailand.
Horror Story.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Twisted and
yes,
in a different way.
Yes, and so everybody is talking about it. There's so many different ways that we could go with it. It's literally taken up my entire entertainment, actually, at least newsfeed.
What is this on?
But
Netflix or something?
HBO. Yes, and which you guys will actually appreciate is that there was a scene earlier, which I thought was bold for a mainstream show like this on HBO, in which they call out intolerant libs. There's a group of girlfriends, and one of them, there's 3 of them, and one of them is a huge Hollywood star. And basically you see that 2 of them are wicked libs and the other one is a conservative. And she talks about living in Texas with her husband, and they're like, "Did you vote for Trump?" And she's like, "Yeah." And they isolate her. And everybody went viral at the time. It was earlier in the season because people were like, "Wow, damn, good for HBO and Mike White, the creator, for calling that out on on a mainstream, stage like that." So that was definitely interesting. I mean, right? Who would think that they'd be calling out basically woke people in such a huge smash mainstream hit? So that's one thing.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah,
well,
I haven't.
They're getting it right for a change.
No.
That's right. Everybody is called out in this. Everyone. And what I thought was fun was after the Boys Will Be Boys thing, is that we've seen a little Boys Will Be Boys, like whether it's politics, culture, entertainment. We saw a little shakedown that everybody is talking, and everyone's of course disagreeing about the finale. It was a good But there's one thing that happened that is a Boys Will Be Boys throwdown. Now, the composer of the show, the theme song is partially what made the show so famous and iconic because it's so quirky.
Like the theme of our show.
Yes, kind of like that, Dave.
Yes, like put us on the map. You know what I mean?
That's
Like, can't get it out of your head, haunting, just
That's
like
right.
rhythmic masterpiece. Exactly.
Free
And
your
so-
mouth and your mind will follow.
I don't want to drink any more of this, so I'm going to start sounding jazz.
Will follow. Speak your truth, don't wait for tomorrow. Words like
Now, Taylor, if only the composer of this song would quit the show.
I'm saying.
silence.
By the way, that's Dave, for those of you who don't know.
Plot twist, that's Dave. So, guys, all this to say is there was a little Boys Will Be Boys throwdown between Mike White, who's the brilliant mind and creator of the show, and the composer. The composer quit, went on to talk shit about him, and here's the creator talking about it on Howard Stern, and I just thought that this was really funny.
Wait, is there a clip?
There's a
Yeah,
clip.
there's a clip.
Oh
Dave.
my God, who put him in charge?
Hold on, I was talking to Matt over there. He's leaving.
Oh,
Or
now
governor
you're
you
talking
are.
to Matt. You were yelling at Taylor.
No. Matt 1776 on Pilled says
This is a fire
this is a
show,
fire show. I rise early AF, and I don't think he's talking about Morningwood. So he meant to say sayonara. I think that's how you spell it. And anyway, he says puppets in charge till he turned. Matt, you
That's
better
right.
go and work on the jugs emoji though before Thursday when we come back on.
No, we might
because-
not be on Thursday.
Well, we're going to be on Thursday one way or the other. I think.
Okay,
Right?
okay, yeah.
Anyway, here's the clip.
Here's the clip.
I was thrown that he would like go to the New York Times to shit on me in the show like 3 days before the finale. It was like kind of a bitch move. He'd won Emmys, and I don't know, he had his song go viral, and so he just did not want to go through the process anymore. He didn't want to get notes from me. He didn't want to go to spotting sessions. And he would just always look at me like he always had like this like contemptuous like smirk on his face whenever he was dealing with me, because I just think he thought I was.
So I love this because exactly, it's like he's just a bitch ass and a chimp, and this is like, again, Boys Will Be Boys. And it got me thinking how between, Elon and Navarro, between these guys, how men handle disputes and how women handle disputes.
Well,
And
women
then-
just slap each other in
And
their
then there's
lingerie.
how
They
Alec
have
Baldwin
pillow fights
handles
in their
disputes.
underwear.
Yeah. Yeah,
What,
we
puppet?
joust.
And it's like, and then there's how Alec Baldwin handles disputes with his wife, like we talked about on that show a couple episodes ago with that
Yeah.
tool bag.
Can we reenact that? How did that go?
Yeah, man interrupting.
It was like this.
Yeah.
I'm ballless,
Yeah.
and I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, that
But
was the
is-
lamest thing. What did I do, honey, to you?
What did I do? I
What did I do
mansplained.
to you, honey? Did I do something bad, honey?
They
Well,
don't
guys-
get any vagina.
Yeah.
Is it like, how do I say this? Women are a little bit more verbal and combative, where I feel like men are more kind of physical. Take your dicks out. No, not actually physical. Like,
Yeah.
like
Are you
right?
talking about
Aggressive?
What are we talking about?
I'm talking
insane-
about in any kind of dispute or any kind of
Yeah, I always like to take
power
it out.
move. So no, you've never heard that expression either. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
take my
yeah,
dick
yeah.
out.
I'm
You know what I'm
just
saying? Like a
teasing,
power
just
move.
teasing.
Yeah. See, Dave, we gotta inform.
Take
Dave
my
about
dick
this.
out? That's an
Oh
expression
no,
you
this
said?
is like when we had to show him what a trad wife was.
No, hold
Yeah.
on now. Hold on to be like,
Puppet to the
hey,
offer.
listen, don't make me take my dick out.
Yeah,
I've
you
never,
gotta whip it
I've been
out.
a guy for 44 years, and never have I threatened somebody with my dick.
No, you like.
You know who took their dicks out? Were the guys on Ocean Gate.
No, their dicks got compressed into tiny little.
I'm saying, but they
Things.
were like, we have money to blow. We're gonna like take our dicks out and like show. I mean, may they rest in peace. But like, just blow this money on the stupidest.
I mean, I've
thing,
heard
and
of
then we
this.
saw what
People do
happened.
this. Like that's a, but I've never heard the expression like
The more you know.
I'm taking my dick out.
I want a
All
pill
right, Dave.
donation every time we have to educate.
I'm
you.
moving on from Dave.
So,
All right.
anyways,
Thing.
I was wondering from you guys, how you take it when women, like, if it is more verbal, like these guys, what we saw, or if it's, or if there's a line though, or if it's like, because then you have like a Caroline Levitt who's a boss. But then if it's too far, you're being a bitch if you're too like stern. So I'm just saying like how women and men handle business and disputes is what I'm getting at.
I would much rather handle a dispute with a man than a woman. You
I
guys are way
wish-
too damn emotional, and everything is sensitive and passive aggressive, and Jesus.
I wish you could punch someone in the nose like you used to be able to.
Well, especially your nose, puppet.
But you
Oh,
you
no, the
can't really do
profile.
that.
The profile.
No, you don't. No, we can't screw this up.
No, the money maker.
Nothing.
Dave.
No hits to the face.
No hits to the face. Yeah, men are definitely more direct. But anyways, and women can be more like catty and manipulative and emotional. But yeah, so anyway, I just thought that was all interesting.
Today, you're either going to get sued if you punch somebody, or they're going to stab you or shoot you or something. Like the old days of like masculine, like,
big dick energy.
Handle it, handle it between men, and then just forget it like afterwards, then go have a beer,
Yeah,
that shit's
that's
gone.
True. That's true.
I like how proud Dave was to say big dick energy. That's something we taught.
Yeah,
He's like big dick energy.
He just tried to fit that in there.
Yeah, look at it. It's like twin.
I tried to fit that big dick energy in there.
That's right. You just tried to fit it in everywhere, Dave.
So yes, it has a tragic Shakespearean ending. Hopefully not like this show.
All right. So, speaking of, I guess I don't even know what I don't even know what the segue is to this, but tonight was the NRCC dinner, and Trump.
Well, everybody's talking about it, right, Dave? Everyone.
Well, yes, everybody is talking about it, but I was trying to find a segue to big dick energy. Speaking of big dick energy, watch how Trump lays in to Jasmine Crockett at the NRCC dinner.
They've gone crazy. How about this new one they have? Their new star, Crockett. How about her? Is that real? Are they serious about that? That's their new star? If that's their new star, they're in serious trouble.
Crockett!
A Crockett of shit.
Crockett is shit. I love when he Crockett.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
they
he's
serious
not holding.
with
He
that?
also said, go ahead, Puppet.
He was just like, are they serious with that?
Yeah.
Crockett shit. It's a crock of shit. Crockett shit.
Crockett shit. Yeah.
Filter Dog still says you look like Brit Hume.
No.
Brit Hume. Look, I like how Trump doesn't hold back. The other day, and I don't have this clip, but the other day, Trump was with who won the World Series? The Dodgers or something? LA.
It was a baseball team.
I don't watch baseball, guys. Sorry.
God,
I was commenting with
I'm a Yankee fan,
someone yesterday saying, was it you, Dave, that we were saying like baseball is like the most boring sport in the whole
the
wide
worst professional sport out of all professional
bite
sports.
your tongue, David.
Do you remember when they went on
a Yankees
strike?
fan.
Do you remember when they went on strike like years ago and nobody cared? And they're like, we want more money. We're not getting millions and millions enough. So they went on strike and nobody cared. And the stands have never been full since. Listen, I will tell you this. I've been to a minor league. This is such a tangent because I didn't even tell you what Trump said, but I'll tell you later, I guess. I went to a minor league baseball game in Tampa. They were the Threshers, right? Which I guess is a type of bird. It was like $10 for a ticket that included food, like hot dogs and drinks and soft drinks and things. And you could buy beer for like $5. So me and all my friends went. Probably spent like $20 each. We got hot dogs. We're sitting right on the field. You were able to scream and heckle the opposing team, and they're throwing baseballs at us. It was fantastic. And at the end, it even had a fireworks show. And if professional sports were like that, I'd go all the time. But baseball, God. I mean, football, I'm not even getting into football because I love football, but it's such a damn ripoff. But baseball, there's like 776 games. And, you expect your fans to show up for 700 games? I don't understand the math of it, right? Because if you want your fans to show up, they have to spend like $1 million every single game, a $15 hot dog, a $20 beer, $10 parking. You're sitting way up in the freaking nosebleeds unless you're spending even more money to sit closer to damn players so you can watch them scratch their nuts and spit their tobacco. So at the end of the day, I think baseball sucks. Yeah. So anyway,
humbug, Dave. It's the great.
I don't like professional baseball.
You're supposed to be a patriot.
I love America. I don't like baseball. But that being said, Trump said Trump was introducing the team, and he goes, "There's a couple of senators here," and Adam Shifty Schiff, Pencil Neck Shift was there, and Trump said, "There's a couple of senators here, but I'm not going to recognize them because I don't like them very much." And that's what I love about Trump. You
gotta love that about Trump.
He just says what he means, just like on Pilled. Free speech lives there, just like we're politically uncensored. Trump is uncensored. So
he is. And did you see that I think it was actually in the Oval Office when he had a bunch of them. He frees his mouth and his mind sure does follow, right? It may be the other way around.
He frees his mouth and our minds follow.
It may be the other way around with him. I don't know which came first, the mouth or the mind of him. But did you see where there were a bunch of professional MLB players in the office, and he made a joke about, he called one of them out, I think, who's like a Hall of Famer, and he's like the classic Trump. He's like, really celebrates how great he is, and then he makes a comment like, "Is he that good? Is he that good?" You know, that's just what he does. That's just him. That's like the Jasmine Crockett thing we just saw. Where
he's the
like,
ribber in chief, man. He always ribbing people and giving, joking and.
I mean, the fact that we have a president who's like, these other countries are kissing my ass right now. Iconic.
Yeah,
Sorry, I don't
it.
care if you love or hate him. If you cannot appreciate this, get lost.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Baseball parks is where you pay to take a nap. Gambera, you're 100% right, Gambera. There's also another place you could pay to take a nap. If you're ever at Epcot, and this is in Florida, when you're on vacation and it's 100 degrees outside and you're doing the drinking around the world thing at Epcot. I don't know if this is actually, I think they were renovating this, but there was the American Experience, like where you go and learn about American history. It's like a stage show with animatronics and whatever. It's like an hour long and it's very air conditioned and very dark. So you get the back row and you just take a nice long hour nap. You're halfway around drinking around the world. That is my pro tip. If you're ever drinking around the world in Epcot, stop by the American Experience and take a nap in the air conditioning in the back row. It feels patriotic and refreshing all at the same time.
Prime. That is Trad Dad at a peak. Am I right, Puppet? That is just
cold places to nap at Disney.
He's like, let me tell you, at Epcot. Also, Pills, you guys are ragging on baseball right now.
You can also get your bat and ball massaged back in the back row.
I'm just gonna in that vein, I'm gonna retract my offer. I was gonna say who could ever mock up the best, version of the jugs. I was gonna take to a Yankees game on me to honor my team and my home, but I guess that offer's off the table since none of you seem interested. So.
The other place to sleep is in a Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert.
Oh, you're telling me.
Is that
just
yes, but for 50 hours long.
Yeah, it's like one song and 99 you don't.
That's like every concert you go to, though, right? Like every concert you sit there with your freaking ears bleeding for an hour and a half, and you're like,
"This is bad."
And then the song that's on the radio comes on, I'm like, "Oh!"
No, I know.
Can I sidebar real quick, and then I want to talk about RFK Jr.
Dave, I love a sidebar.
Yeah, I want to sidebar real quick.
I wish I was at a sidebar right now.
Yeah, can I tell
in the back of Epcot? I bet you did.
That's right.
Can I tell you why I don't like concerts? Besides the fact that they're loud, and who likes to listen to music that loud? Nobody.
It's like going to Nashville and every bar you go to is so damn loud
worst.
you can't even hear it.
Make
the worst.
Music better.
But do you know why I don't like? Sorry, I'm distracted. My dogs are cuddling on the couch in my studio, and I'm like, oh, that's sweet. So you know why I don't like concerts? I don't really like paying to participate. Like I'm supposed to be the audience. It's my role. It's the same thing at professional sporting events. Like I have a job to do. I have to boo and cheer, and I'm like, well, I'm paying for this. Like I'm like an extra on a movie set. And I feel like I'm a tool bag. Like I'm sitting there and what do you do at the concert? Like, do you bob your head? Do you do this little I don't even know what this symbol means, this rock and roll thing you're supposed to do. But you're supposed to do things. And then it's group think, right? You look around the concert and everybody has to do the same things with their hands and their feet. Everybody's got to kind of feel it. And that's your job as the audience. I want to sit there and listen. I don't want to freaking bob my head. I don't want to have to stand up and dance. I want to listen. So I don't go to concerts because they annoy the shit out of me. So
I don't know, guys. Dave has wanted to call out fake news and look at that rock. Yeah.
Is that the shocker puppet? Are you doing the shocker?
Yeah, are you actually?
2 in the pink, 1 in the state.
I'm impressed. He knows.
No. You didn't have to explain what it was.
Actually, that would be a satisfying move for the twins up front of the show. That I'm sure is a crowd
they
pleaser.
have one hoo-hoo.
I'm saying, but it hits all the spots at once. I mean, you can't mess that up.
It's hitting all the things. Why would that be special for them?
Well, you never know. Maybe one feels one whole differently than the other.
Now that's a very interesting question.
It kind of it spreads the love, so to speak.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say was fake news. You're sourpuss about baseball games, about concerts. All I will say is I saw you in Nashville and in Music City, and I beg to differ. Okay. I don't think you're so.
I can give it get it one of these,
Why don't that is definitely the puppet. That is a shocker.
All right,
wow.
So RFK Jr.
I don't think
apparently came out in favor of
RFK
Jr. came out. in favor of
Oh,
I don't even know anymore.
I don't either. Where am
I don't even know anymore.
Where am I?
Shut up, puppet.
Dave.
This
how
is
did
my
we-
life now.
Dave, how did we get here?
This is my life now.
How did we get here?
I have the demon version of the show me where he hurt you puppet doing weird ass things. And I'm sitting here trying to talk about measles, mumps, and rubella.
That's right.
So,
oh God. I mean,
anyway.
vaccines poke you like puppets, shocker. So there you go.
Look. So, RFK, he's getting a little flack right now with the Maha movement. They're saying, he's making America healthy. He was against vaccines. Now he's for vaccines. And he never really said he wasn't. He always said he was pro-vaccine. He just didn't think that the vaccines went through enough trials, enough testing to actually make sure that they're safe and that they're not being upfront and honest about the actual side effects that may be occurring because of these things. And, now there's some measles cases that are supposedly all unvaccinated and a couple kids have died and other people are infected. And
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I was thinking of I just have to say it out loud. It's not because of the kids
we're
dying.
off the rails. Is something funny about kids dying, Taylor?
I was looking at your face and I felt like you were holding in a laugh from the beginning. And I was just thinking of Puppet doing the shocker and then smelling it. And I couldn't get it out of my head. I'm sorry. And I saw
because
you
like that. That turned you on, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did.
Kids dying, Taylor. Kids dying.
No, and I was like, Dave, and I was looking at you like this, and I was like, is Dave gonna bust out laughing, or it's just me? And so I had to just say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right, whatever.
Oh God.
So anyway, that's so that this guy can't catch a break. If he says he's for vaccines, he gets bitched at. If he says he's against vaccines, he gets bitched at. It can't win.
You know what this is, Puppet? What we're talking about, what we have here, is a failure to understand shit. Because
that's true, Dave.
What happens is people just either don't take the time to even listen to fake news.
Dave, I liked that. That was good. That needs to go on a shirt.
Really?
What we have here is a failure to.
What'd I say?
He doesn't even remember.
It was so
brilliant.
Good, we can't even remember
We're
it.
gonna look it back.
What we have here is a problem with our memory.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. People like to pretend that they think things are true, and whether they research it or not, they assume that RFK Jr. is anti-vax because why? It goes along with their stupid false narratives. And he's not against all vaccines. And there's kids dying, and Taylor thinks it's hilarious. There's kids dying.
I'm black. I think kids dying
right.
is funny.
She all of a sudden is appropriating black dialect. She thinks kids dying is funny. Puppet, this whole show is off the rails.
Pony soldier.
Right. Dog-faced pony soldiers. So, anyway, people like to make up shit, essentially, is the problem. And they just assume that RFK Jr. is anti-vax completely. He's not. He's just anti-COVID vax, which was a giant science experiment, and it's killing people. But hey, what? Oh, actually, supposedly, it is. Oh, man. YouTube's going to kill our show now.
Oh, if they haven't already.
Yeah, YouTube's going to kill our show. I said it. You're not allowed to say it.
You're right,
we should have brought this up. We're not allowed to say this.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Too late. Oh,
Yeah.
there it goes. There it goes.
Yeah.
Very many missed opportunities and delays on that sound.
The C word?
But,
yeah, you're not allowed to talk about vaccine safety. YouTube gets very upset with that. We're gonna have to dump the whole show.
Well, they can just stick it in.
Dave, you can edit it
in Puppet's manhole. Anyways, yes,
So
you're right, Dave. If anybody did a basic Google search, it's called Google. You would see that he said before, "I'm not against vaccine. My own kids have been vaccinated." He was just like many, like Dr. Robert Malone, who was a co-architect, of this technology, not the COVID vax, but the mRNA technology, right? They didn't like the swift action and the mandates of everybody get this. We don't know what the side effects will be. That's it. Common sense. But in fairness to these people, Dave, it's almost like it's almost not, you're like, they believe into their narrative. It's not even their narrative. It's what they have been inundated with for years now, all over the news about who RFK Jr. is and that he's just some nutbag, off the rails, kooky man who doesn't know anything. It's all they've heard. So what else are they going to think? I mean, I guess they don't know what Google is, but that's, where we're at. So yeah, but now it's getting dark, and I want to see where Puppet goes with this, because now the Maha crowd is upset, saying, oh, now that he's in, now it's the deep state, now that he's bought out, now he's singing a different tune. What happened to Maha?
That's
so
right.
much for that. However, now it's getting a little freaky deaky. It's getting a little conspiratorial. And I'm not even bringing my tinfoil titties out for this, like the pyramids, because this is so kooky. I don't even know that it's worth it. But Puppet, tell us a good word.
If you listen to Candace Owens at all, she's always bringing in the Israel angle on a lot of things. And so now there's all this talk about that Robert Kennedy is, wrapped up in some blackmail scheme with Israel. And part of the rationale for that is that he somehow is always connected to and around this guy, Rabbi Shmuley. You know who that is?
Yes, and I think that... Did you just make him up? Because I'm about to look real
absolutely
stupid.
did not
Yeah,
make
you're
him
like,
up.
yes, I absolutely know who.
Like
who is
Marjorie
that?
Taylor Greene's name. We'd be like, yes, I know him. I
That's
saw the
true.
interview with him. And
Puppet does make shit up.
Puppet
No,
would be
so
like,
Shmuley-
Robert or Rabbi Shmoody doesn't exist.
Shmuley is like one of the top 90 rabbis in the world.
Oh, is there a rating system?
I guess they do, Dave. I don't know.
I'm a
You
top
guys are the
90
Jews,
rabbi.
I'm not.
My
So
name's Rabbi Shmuley. I'm a top 10 rabbi.
Shmuley is a weird character. And he
So
is
is Puppet
both
Carlson. We need to
a
get him on the show.
rabbi and a author and a show host. And he was like close with Michael Jackson.
Wait a minute, is that the guy who gives like life advice?
Yes.
I've seen his stuff. There was one that I constantly use because my wife likes to scream across the house, like things like, I'm like, Jesus, just walk into my office and talk to me. I hate when women do that shit. And there's one video that he says, women do not yell across the house. It's indecent. If you have something to say, walk to your husband and tell him. I'm like, this guy's brilliant. Is that the guy?
That's probably the guy.
It's your guys' fault for not hearing us.
And he
Plain
has
and
written a
simple.
book.
Plain and simple. You should have heard us the first time.
He has a sex book.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He has a sex book.
If
It's
you like
called,
sex, buy my book.
That's right. It's
I'm a top
called,
10 rabbi.
Are you now rabbi? Okay, so I did the black explaining. You're doing the Jew speak.
He's doing the Jew
I'm
speak.
actually Jewish, so I can do Jew
Oh, that's
speech.
right. Because I was gonna say I thought I was the token Jew on the show, but you're stealing my thunder, Dave. Dang
It's
it!
called Kosher Sex, Recipe for Passionate Intimacy.
That's the
Kosher
book?
hot dogs.
Kosher
hot
sex?
dogs.
He's been called the Dr. Ruth with a yarmulke.
Oh my God! Now listen, one, I don't know how to spell yarmulke, and two,
It's YAMULKE.
RK. Anyway, so I'm
Treasure
not
one right
but
now.
I'm not a good Jew. I'm Jewish.
No, you're not.
I say ish, like I eat lobster. I don't fast like I'm supposed to, and I'm a bad Jew. But what I was told is Jews don't believe in hell, so I guess I just get smited or something.
No, we're good.
Like my crops won't grow well in a year.
That's probably true.
Yeah, like I don't know what the penalty is for being a bad Jew.
Probably you'll end up on a show with a puppet.
I'm living my punishment. You're right. I need to go atone for my sins and fast.
Is this not it? I mean, this is
It is Passover.
You're
Actually,
atoning now.
Passover's coming up. When is Passover? It's like.
Well, while Dave figures out his his Jewness and I figure out my blackness.
This Saturday is Passover.
Are we gonna have Seder? Can we have a very politically uncensored Passover? Baruch atah
we
Adonai.
can we do the giant matzah and look for it?
That's the one thing Dave knows about being a Jew.
I like hunting the giant matzah. That's the thing, by the way, guys.
Wow. Tradition.
Yeah, over on
matchmaker.
For you non-Jews out there, one of the best traditions on Passover is my God, it's 11. One of the best traditions on Passover is at the end you find the giant matzah. What do they call it? They call it something.
I think that's slang for Puppet's pee-pees. Just the giant matzah.
Puppet's thing isn't a matzah.
Giant matzah.
It might be a latke, but it's not a
I know,
matzah.
I got a matzah.
You know
I
what
got
it
a
is?
couple of matzo
You know what
balls
it
down
is?
here
You
for
got matzo balls.
It's a gefilte
right.
fish.
You got the
That's what it
gefilte
is.
fish.
It's a gefilte fish.
I'm
It's a
gonna
pickled
gefilte
herring.
fish this right in your mouth.
Taylor's got a pickled herring.
Oh,
You're gonna
I'm
be saying,
sorry,
"Holy
Rabbi.
mackerel."
I'm sorry, Rabbi.
All right. Listen.
Anyways,
Anyway,
my, oh
check
my.
out Candace's commentary on the RFK.
Wait, I
schmooly.
should have known. I think she actually went ahead with she went head to head with this rabbi.
Did. She
I
did
love
went head to
she
head
did.
with this guy.
He
and
did
then
before.
he dressed up in like Candace Owens style Jewish thing and like almost like blackface.
Listen,
What?
I love a Candace
You gotta check
Owens
it out.
moment, but I should have known with this. I did see her tease, like, oh, I'm going to reveal the big RFK Jr. tie, da-da-da. I should have known that it would be somehow tied to Israel. Like, I don't know why she has a hard-on for always throwing Israel under the bus. Like, girl,
Space
I
lasers.
love your
It's the
stuff,
space
but
Well, maybe there's some reality to it. You got to dive in.
All right. Well,
Go down
speaking
the
of
hole.
So I got one last thing for
I like
you guys.
to go down the hole.
All right.
we know you
Before we
I'm a
go
big
too far down this
conspiracy
hole, I have one last thing for you guys tonight because we're running late,
Okay.
but this is totally worth it.
Okay.
Happy story.
Did you guys see this story? Well, first let me play the video because it gives me total throwback vibes. So
Didn't
everybody,
that guy look like and make you want that to be Adam Schiff?
yeah,
Like,
Chuck
you're like,
Schumer.
that's Adam Schiff right there.
yeah. I tell you what, man. There's a place that I would never want to be eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and taking a dump is probably one of the places. But at the same time, if you're gonna, if I was gonna get eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex, I'd probably shit myself, and at least I'm in the right spot for
That's
it.
right. You're in a great place for that.
So at least I'm not gonna die shitting myself. I will shit in the appropriate place before a T-Rex eats me.
Very proper.
Right.
Girls don't poo, as we know. But if we did, I could imagine that is your one moment of like solace and peace, and it just gets ruined by a big dino. I mean, of all the ways.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine, it's just not.
So anyway, the reason why I showed you this clip, because apparently they have now, well, I'll just show you this story. And no, that's not Taylor and Puppet's first date.
Or second.
What you're hearing there.
That's the nightly howls of the Carlson.
God, can't get that image out of my head.
No, or the sound.
So these dire wolves have been extinct, and now they're unextincted.
13,000 years you haven't heard one of those howls, Dave.
Well, Taylor's heard one like 3 days ago. Last time.
Well,
I
not
heard
if
those
your
in my
puppet
house.
doesn't
They'd be extinct for
exist.
another 13,000
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
So these dire wolves, what they did was they took DNA, and I guess they kind of, it's not really like a clone. Thanks, Filter Dog, for the can, for being a good sport, Taylor.
They took gray wolf DNA.
Right, and so it's really a gray wolf
And they
mixed with
gene
dire
edited
wolf DNA. They edited the DNA, but
Kind of like how they did COVID.
now I have to edit that part out too. So yeah,
What else can we get in? I said pedophilia earlier on my show, and I'm pretty sure. But now I just took us out too. So 2 birds, 1 stone, 2 matzo balls, 1. There it goes. So what else? Do we get? I don't know.
What kind of matzo balls do you guys like? I like the floaters. I like the floaters. You don't like
They're
matzo
too
balls?
soggy and big, and I don't like any balls that way, for that matter.
Really? I like floaters. The floating matzo balls are my favorite ones. You got to get them in the right kind of stock, and I don't like dense matzo balls. I like them floaters. Yeah.
Puppet.
Anyway,
I've had them. You know,
yeah.
take
Well,
it or leave it.
That's all the time we have for tonight.
Yeah. So
I think we'll be back Thursday. We have to figure this out because
Wait,
Puppet and I
can we
have
wrap
a thing.
Do you have a thing? But the little wolf story.
What about it? We talked about it.
Oh, we were done.
Well, you can talk about little wolves. Go ahead. Here, I'll play the clip again. They're like, what the hell did you do? I've been sleeping for 13,000 years.
You guys took it to the puppet in bed, the puppet werewolves of London. I don't even know. What I was going to say was the brilliant, the exciting, I was going to say the exciting advancements in science and technology and what it can do and what we'll see from here. But I mean, gee, what do I know? I guess we'll just howl at the moon.
I heard Alex Jones talking about this, and he was like saying, like, look, this stuff has existed since they put an ear on a rat back, 20 years ago. But they've been hiding all this tech and keeping it all under wraps. And, now they let you see that, look, we could turn a gray wolf into a dire wolf, and isn't that cool? And we can make take a gene editing and make a virus turn into a, and then, we can do that. Obviously. Yeah. And yay, by the way, Fauci said there's another pandemic coming around the corner. So maybe it was caused by a dire wolf who got infected with the measles because they hadn't taken an MMR vaccine.
Wow.
Now that is not conspiratorial. That sounds like the science. And I love what Filter Dog said, which is, where does it stop? Jurassic Park? That was my thought.
That's right. That's the question. That is the question.
Yeah, Jurassic Park would be kind of cool. Jurassic Park would be kind of cool.
Until it's not.
Because
just don't take a shit.
The same company that made the dire wolf said that they're going to bring back the woolly mammoth by 2026 or something.
Well, they already have Rosie.
Because what could go wrong with that?
They already have Letitia James. So they have her too. Filter Dog made an excellent point. Dire wolf is okay, and thanks for the cookie. But where are the cures for cancer? And actually, this is a controversial thing that I won't get into now, but that the MM, what do they call them? The vaccines that they use to gene edit?
mRNA.
Yeah, the mRNA vaccines for a long time have been thought to be the method to cure cancer, but because the research on it was so expensive or controversial, a lot of people think that COVID was sort of used in that sort of to advance that sort of those therapies. But I don't know. That's not for today.
That's a schmooly right there.
That's a schmooly.
You're
We're out of
bringing
time.
out the schmooly.
Yeah, we got to figure out Thursday. We should be back here Thursday, pilled one way or the other. We'll figure it out. And that's all we got tonight. Does anybody have any final words before I close us out?
Matchmaker, make me a match, because I don't know if Puppet. I don't know. He's got a lot going on over there. I don't know if he can handle.
You need.
Or should we matchmake Puppet? I don't know.
Wolf in Taylor's house.
That's actually the original.
Guys.
That was the original.
All right, we'll see you next week. This Thursday, everybody. And Puppet, do you have you like to say a thing, or don't you?
He's gonna howl.
Free your mind, free your mouth, so your mind will follow.
Yeah.
Howl. Howl.
Filter Dog made a good point to end the show. Thanks for being here, everybody, over on Pilled in the chat and here on all the other platforms. And we will see you on Thursday. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Free your mouth every Tuesday.